In this special report, Ben Television visited Kwale in Ndukwa West local government area in Delta State, where we interviewed the President General of Ndukwa Nation, Chief Johnson Osai Okpene, and a traditional ruler, His Royal Majesty Isaac Obi, who shared their opinion on the plight of the Niger Delta region and what is expected from the Nigerian government. We'll start with Chief Johnson Okpene, who will be speaking on issues affecting Nigerian economy and the way forward.
Well, you know that in everywhere in the whole world, you look at deficit budgeting, and when you have your income below what you've budgeted, you end up borrowing. And there are different forms of borrowing, internal borrowing and external borrowing. So for me, it is not what is budgeted that is paramount. What is paramount is what will benefit the Nigerian people. I'm one advocate that believe that even when you have a deficit budget and you borrow, such money should be channeled into those developments that are catalysts to the growth of a nation. The Nigerian nation today needs three major focus. One of the major focus we are lacking is that our technological base is zero. I'll give you an example. Nigeria today, and you read your papers, has awarded a contract for the construction of Calabar to Lagos South Rail Line for 17, according to the newspaper report, $17.1 billion. If you translate that at 300 naira to $1, it tells you what we are talking about. I don't know where the money is going to come from, but I learned that the Chinese government is going to fund it. But that is not my worries. My worries is that the local content, the standard gauge rail lines that are going to be installed, we do not have any manufacturing facility in Nigeria that is going to make such standard gauge steel rails, meaning every money we borrow from Chinese government is going back to them. I also learned that they are going to do after project completion dockyard to supply a pass for the maintenance of the rail line. It beats my imagination that a country like Nigeria at this modern age haven't participated in lifting the equipment at Ajokuta Steel by Trajo Impes in the mid-80s. I am disappointed that up to today we cannot produce billet from the Ajokuta Steel, which you needed for the rail line project. I thought that a government that is well focused would have asked the Chinese government what they can do to produce at least 60% of what they will use for the rail line locally here in Nigeria, to give us that economic forward looking. But I just believe that what we do in Nigeria today is very, very happy to import 100% projects and execute them. It's not done that way in China. It's not done that way in India. You must first of all design a project where the local components are guaranteed, so that you know that money that you are paying, that you have borrowed, will not be 95% back to the country that is borrowing us money. So those are the kind of fears I have for this country. That's why I said that we need to have these three catalysts. I've just mentioned one, the local content.
And the second and the third?
Okay. Yeah. Apart from addressing the issues of local content on capital projects, we also need to build local capacity. I'll give you an example with the car industry. Not too long ago, I was involved in Zahav Car Automobile, which the Stallion Group has acquired. But under the policy, automobile policy of this nation, every importer is expected to contribute money into the automotive fund. Okay? The local capacity building has been destroyed. And I'll give you an example. In car manufacturing, we talked about Pan. We talked about Volkswagen. Then Michelin and Dunlop used to make tires in Nigeria. Today, where are these factories? And you can't talk about local content without building your local capacity. So I'm advocating that as a necessary policy to save us from foreign exchange challenges, we should start to build local capacity. Meaning, by encouraging those that are already there. Encouraging them, not a situation where we have some assorted policy. You say you want a necessary company to take off. No sooner that they are giving concession, the tax office will round out the company and make sure it's dead. And people are talking about revenue generation. You generate from one side, you kill it from another side. So we can look at those core industries that is going to move Nigeria to the next level, which I talk about capacity building. Oil exploration has been going on in this country in the last 65 years. Up to today, Nigeria has no local capacity in oil production industry. Compared to a country like Brazil, Petrobras came to study NNPC. Today, they are also participating effectively. I know you will tell me, NNPC has an arm. No, they have an arm, but mostly on joint ventures. Meaning, they don't have the technical capacity. You look at the marginal oil fields that also I participated, though I lost to Midwestern Oil. The same thing. When Midwestern Oil or some of these governments, I don't want to mention names here, when they won, they're also engaging foreigners to come and run these industries because we don't have the local capacity. What are we to do to have local capacity? Reform our educational institutions. As a matter of policy, send specific Nigerians outside this country to be properly trained and monitored and brought back. Why is Nigeria not building capacity on petrochemical industry? Just of recent, one of our very own and a very patriotic Nigeria, Dangote, is trying to transform Nigeria economy. I think that's what I mean by capacity building. We have started, but the government need to give more encouragement to other sectors so that we can grow. It is overdue. It is overdue. Why do I say it is overdue? You see, the Nigerian Federation did not evolve on its own. It was an amalgamation of the North and South brought about by the, in 1914. And the issue of incompatibility in terms of the various religions and the traditional beliefs is affecting our national politics. And we believe that if we look into the report of the report handed over by the last president, Goodluck Jonathan, in the 2014 National Conference, all stakeholders will be able to implement that decision. We want a state where our voice are heard, not just constitutional provision that our people did not partake in making. Yes, it's our constitution, but these are constitutions that came out from the military handover. You will say, what is the National Assembly? Is the National Assembly not there? Yes, the National Assembly is there. But we need to galvanize the general opinion of our people. And that's what the National Conference did. They brought men from different professions, market women, youth. It's not about that person who has money to be elected. It's about the opinion of the general people of Nigeria. So I want that conference document revisited so that the issue of restructuring once and for all can be addressed, where we now have the weaker center and a more productive states or zonal confederation in Nigeria. Okay, the issue of Niger Delta has been there before. Late President Yaradua created the amnesty where people were forgiven and they handed over their arms to government. And it was working. But the approach is what is backfiring. People were trained, but when they come back, there's no job for them to do. Even those that were given skill in the oil sectors, we are not employed. So a situation where you carry out a program and the people of that place do not feel it, it is uncalled for. So the kind of approach I am going to suggest to our dear President, President Muhammadu Buhari, is for him to engage the ethnic nationality leaders in the whole Niger Delta region, not Avengers only, because these are a very tiny people. Okay, yes, they are causing destruction into our national state. Yes, their grievances are right, but I do not call for violence. I believe that dialogue has a longer term effect. If you destroy things that are meant for generating revenue, apart from apart from the political consequences, I'll give you an example. We remember the Mataseni. Buhari was, I think, Mataseni, that's when he was in the military, and he tackled it. You remember what happened during Obasanjo era? We don't want our people, innocent people, to be killed, because there's a way you continue to destroy, and the federal government take the law onto their hand, and it will create anarchy. Our people are suffering. Look at the Baramatu people. Their ordinary citizens are those that are suffering. Those people that have arms, they are in the creeks. They are not in the towns. Take for example my place. If you come to attack anybody today, the militants are not in Ndokwa land. We have been very peaceful people over the last 60 years. We believe that if all the ethnic nationality leaders like E.K. Clark and all those that rule Urobo Kingdom, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Ondo, Delta, in all the Niger Delta conglomerate states are joined together, bringing their leaders, not only ethnic nationality leaders, but leaders of note, we should be able to articulate an economic blueprint which will address the issues that are being raised in Niger Delta, and that is of marginalization. I'll give you an example. If you want to build a road in Niger Delta, you need to spend 4 times the money you need to build similar road in Kogi. Why? Because our terrain is swampy and is waterlogged. So we need compounding those areas. So our challenges are enormous. But my advice to the president is that for you to change the economic prosperity of our people, you need to engage us in a meaningful dialogue where we tell you what our people need and how the oil companies can play a significant role. One of those things that angers me is this. Most of the oil companies prefer to locate their headquarters outside the state of their operation, thereby denying our people much needed revenue. If you put your Chevron headquarters in Lagos, and you put Shell headquarters in Lagos, and your main operation is in Niger Delta, what is the benefit of oil exploration in the Niger Delta region? This is what I want the Nigerian government to address. All over the world, headquarters of the oil prospecting companies are located within the sub-region so that they can appreciate the environment in which they make their money. But it's not so in Nigeria. So we are calling the federal government to ensure that all oil companies operating in the Federal Republic of Company locate their headquarters in where their mainstream operation is located.
What I know, which everybody talks about, is marginalization. And for instance, in Otabogbe, where the facilities that supplies the IPP, the raw materials that supply the IPP, that supplies 14 states in the Federation, the community that has that facility has not a blink of light. Now that could cause restiveness, and that could cause insurgency. And you can now say that is also marginalization. Those are the sort of things that can cause this sort of problems. The president is still finding his way to get stabilized. And with the Boko Haram, now the insurgency and so on and so forth, it will be difficult to place any blame on anyone's table, particularly the presidency. What we can say is that we should be patient and then advise the oil companies to at least listen to their host communities, carry them along in whatever they are doing. That is better.
The government should also understand that it is not only listening to people that, are interested in violence. What is it take for those who are interested in peace? So, but in understanding this type of issues, I want the federal government to take a different approach to this. Like we read and watch telly. At the time, I saw a situation where the federal government said, they want to go and wipe out some kingdoms. You don't do that. If you kill the fowl or the hen that is laying the golden egg, then how do you sell your gold? I don't expect our amiable President Muhammadu Buhari to. I thank God he has retraced his steps, because he would have been able to take such a decision where if Nigeria as a country has a diversified economy, or where we are practicing true fiscal federalism. Niger Delta region happens to be a region that is so important to this country. If President Buhari decides to destroy the Niger Delta region because some people are behaving the other way around, he has not taken, and he won't have convinced himself that he has taken a wise decision. To an extent, just few months back, the Ndukwa people, because the tenure of the past government expired in terms of who represents the Ndukwa people generally, who came together out of delegates. It was a true electoral process where one of our electoral sons, the person of High Chief Johnson Opone, supported by the traditional institution, has taken mantle of office to represent and become the voice of Ndukwa people, as it were. And we are happy with his emergence. It was an election that was participated by the people. The people voted. We know, we have full confidence in him. He has traveled wide. He's somebody who understands what it takes to make a place grow. You understand? And the youths are ready to follow up to make sure that the place is developed. I must tell you something that is so painful to our people. Are you aware that it is in this Ndukwa Federal Constituency, there's no presence of a real government tertiary institution? It's painful to a people. For me, today, I see myself as a youth leader. But even if the struggle does not end and be accomplished today, what is the fate of my own children and my children's children? We should be able to fight that or go into discussions, reasonable discussions. That if it's like somebody that has a farm. You don't finish all the work you have in your own farm one day. But hopefully by the special grace of God, because we have the proper persons and people in place, led by our amiable king, the president of His Royal Majesty, Isaac Obi, and our President General of the Ndukwa people. We know within a short time, they will liaise with the government. When they talk to us, we'll listen. But I must tell you the truth, that we are modern youths. We don't believe in violence. We believe in dialogue. No, there is no war that can end in the battlefield. You must come to a table to discuss. Even the First World War or the Second World War, like we read, even if we were not born then, it didn't end in the battlefield. The Ndukwa people are ready to cooperate with the government, and let the government cooperate with our people that are in place to represent us, and we'll give them the peace that we've always given them.
That is all we can take for now. My name still remains Ellen Chukwemeka. Bye for now.